Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
You said it 3 times already. That means we got to talk about it.
That's
Hello,
right.
ladies and gentlemen, and cinema lovers everywhere. Welcome back to Assigned Seating, the UCR Cinema Club. Vera, I think you're my most constant buddy here.
I love
I
movies,
think
and I'm not about
you
the
are my
movies.
most constant buddy here in the theater. I like it. I like it. I like it. So, I must apologize to those of you that are watching, expecting a 6-year-old puppet, but she's Luke has decided he needs a little bit more time with our lamb chop chat. So, second part of lamb chop will be dropping soon, but we thought there's a historic event happening this week. We are getting a long-awaited sequel, so we thought we would go back in time, back to the 80s, where all
Yeah,
good
back
things
when I was
where all
young and all my
where
skin
all
was
good
up
things
here.
come from. Ooh, all good things come from the 80s, baby. So yes, as Vera has let the cat out of the bag or the poltergeist out of the cemetery, whatever you would like to call it,
Whatever.
we are going to be talking about 1988's classic Beetlejuice. I have, and I didn't realize until I rewatched it last night. I have a bit of a complex relationship with this movie.
Oh yeah? What
Yeah.
about?
I was the biggest scaredy cat in the world as a child.
Me.
I used to run. I remember we watched Ghostbusters once at a friend's place, and I ran screaming from the room over those dogs on the roof.
Those dogs on the roof were scary.
Right. So Beetlejuice, I only just realized that I've never sat and watched it all the way through.
Oh, you
I've seen
denied
bits and
yourself the
pieces of it.
pleasure.
Well, I have seen it, so I know what happened, but I hadn't watched, or I hadn't like sat down and gone as an adult and gone, I'm going to watch this whole movie all the way through. So there were bits and pieces, and I was like, oh, I don't remember that. Oh, I remember this. Oh, I don't remember that. I remember this. Like, it's just, especially like with it being in the zeitgeist so much, it's a very quotable movie. It's a very popular movie
Yep.
that we see these bits and pieces like regurgitated all the time. And there was here in Australia we have a theme park called Warner Brothers Movie World, and Beetlejuice used to feature quite heavily there. Like he'd be a roaming character. He was in the rides. He was like
Right.
he was about, so we'd get the showtime all the time and all that kind of all the good stuff. But there were bits and pieces that I forgot about this movie. I was like, oh, okay. So it was nice to actually see how
I
much.
probably have seen this movie at least once a year, every year since it came out. Because it's
Wow, big fan.
a Halloween favorite. But if you catch it late at night and you turn it on, you don't always catch the beginning. And when
Yeah,
I watched it this weekend, it's like, oh yeah, I forgot this happened.
that's right.
Big dog on the board,
That's
and
right.
yeah.
Yeah, it's very of its time, isn't it? You're like,
Yeah.
this is how movies used to be. It feels comfortably 80s. I'm gonna say.
Right.
Let's
Yes.
put that as very
Absolutely. Like I said, back
very
when my
80s.
skin was all taut and I was all
Did
none
you
of
see
this
this?
was gray.
Did you see this at the cinemas when it came out?
I don't think I saw it at the cinema when it came out. I think I saw it at the drive-in that summer.
Oh wow.
Mm.
Yes. Okay. Now, of course, I think that the majority of the world would have seen Beetlejuice. If you haven't seen Beetlejuice, there are going to be spoilers. So
Yeah, you might need to turn off now and go watch
press pause, and jump in, jump in, watch it, and come back. This is one of the Tim Burton directed like flagpole. His one of his flagpole weird movie.
Right.
Establishing Tim Burton as I guess
The king of
dark
weird.
comedy. Yeah, dark comedy weirdness master that he was,
Uh-huh.
and
Still is.
you guys,
Hasn't left us.
you guys are quite close to location, aren't you? Because they were filming near you guys for Beetlejuice too.
Yeah.
Nearish.
Nearish. I mean,
Here-ish.
nothing you could ride your bike by.
But it's nice to know. And driving around area, out more country, well, not the city area that we, or suburban area that you guys live in, but out by the lake and stuff. You're like, yeah, this is Beetlejuice territory. You can imagine the town just popped up out of that.
After you get north of Poughkeepsie, we are quite bucolic
Oh,
here in New York State.
Excuse you. So we'll jump right in because there's a little bit to talk about. Now, as I said, 1988, Tim Burton classic. The car. These are a lot of movie stars in this. Like, there are a lot of people in this movie. Alec Baldwin was good looking, wasn't he? God.
He was, yes.
Alec Baldwin.
Right after the soap operas, I think.
Yeah, he's jumping into the big world.
The soaps.
Gina Davis. I love Gina Davis. I miss Gina Davis. Come back, Gina. I don't know where you are, but you need to come back to movies. Of course, Winona Ryder and Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
And now I think she's finally reached the level of fame that she deserves, Catherine O'Hara.
Yep.
Finally, after all these years, she is now the superstar that she deserves
to be.
Oh my God,
how beautiful and young she looked in this movie.
Yeah, she looks. Yes. She's pretty stunning, isn't she? She's like. We'll get to it. So our film opens in picturesque, like postcard, very, very postcard, very American small town, very bucolic, as you would say. Winter River, Connecticut, where Barbara and Adam Maitland are in their very unique house on top of the hill, decide to forego a vacation and spend time decorating their country home. As you would. I don't know.
Yeah.
For me, I don't know. For me, vacations is for vacationing. And Vera and I have talked about this. It's like, drink, please. Drink in hand, sitting, people bringing. People bringing. Yeah, people bringing. Not laying wallpaper and getting very excited about models and all that kind of thing. Like, more power to people that have hobbies like that.
I have taken time off to do projects like that, but I've always resented it.
Yeah. Right, exactly. Regret and resent both at the same time. So as Adam is constructing his very epic model of the town, and I don't have that kind of patience. Congratulations to people that do. It's stunning. I find that stuff like that stunning to look at, but I'm like, my hands aren't steady enough. I don't have the patience. But you go.
I look at that shit and all I think is somebody's going to have to dust that.
True. Very, very true. So they head into town and to their hardware store, which they obviously own and run because it's a Maitland store.
Yeah.
I love the barber just sitting there talking to himself. No one's around, just sitting out the front, talking. And as they go to return home, Barbara swerves to avoid a dog and crashes through the side of the covered bridge. Now, this is very, as we were talking about, very 80s. It feels like
I'm sorry.
Home Alone. It feels Home Alone-ish. The dog on the beam, it's like, hello. Or Looney Tunes. Very, very comic, very cartoon-esque, I think, which, yeah. And then look at, no. And the Maitlands crash into the river. And this is the thing I like about older movies. They don't have to spell things out straight away. If that was today, they'd be like, and they're just they're dead. That's okay, cool.
Well,
but they return home cold, chilled, cold, and try to warm themselves up there by the fire. Quite literally. Again, great physical related Looney Tunes-esque comedy where we light ourselves on fire trying to warm our hands. And we notice that things are awry, Your hands are catching on fire.
And they find the handbook.
Yes, they lack a reflection. When, when Adam tries to leave the house, he ends up in an otherworldly desert with giant worms. When this movie came out, people must have been like, what the hell is going on? like, what the hell is actually going on? Because when he is reached back
I'm
into...
not 100% certain of what the worms are about or what they mean.
Worms are
from
worms.
Just part of the, the circle.
I guess they're like the surgeons of the afterlife. They're just clearing up the souls, and they're just keeping maintenance.
Pre-demon.
Yeah.
Clearance. Yeah.
Maintenance. We'll call it maintenance. So when Adam's plucked back into the real world, he's told that Barbara tells him he was gone for 2 hours and he was gone for seconds. So we get that displaced time kind of moment as well.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden pops up in their possession a handbook for the recently deceased. Which leads them to the revelation that, they may not have walked away. They walked away from that puppy encounter. Yeah, it's everything about this so far. I'm like, it's very charming.
It is.
It's charming. It does. It stays charming for a movie that they label as horror comedy. It's very light. I would call it a black. Not even black. It's grey. It's grey. It's not black. I've seen a black comedy
with a horror theme, I would say.
Yeah, a horror theme. Yeah, a horror themed comedy.
And I would label, Ghostbusters the same way.
Yeah. Although Ghostbusters does that second Ghostbusters does push into the like, oh, that second Ghostbusters.
Did you see the third one?
I have, yeah.
That one's dark.
I haven't seen the new one. I haven't seen Frozen Empire yet, so
no, I haven't seen that one either. But
one day, I got a plane trip coming up. I can watch that. So it appears that the Maitlands are trapped in their beloved house. For good or for ill. Barbara's just upset that she can't clean properly. Like, come on.
Yeah, really.
He just gets to look at his models and can't finish his models. That's sad for them. But the house is ultimately sold, where we meet the Dietz family arriving from New York City. Oh, I look, you can't go wrong. Winona Ryder, Catherine O'Hara together. That's a win. Jeffrey Jones, I think he's getting slowly removed from the project due to his
bad taste.
Yes, there we go. R.I.P.
For criminality.
Yeah, criminality. There we go. Look, sometimes it's hard to dance around this stuff when we watch these movies decades later and things like this come out about people. His performance is still great in the movie. Like, it's again, we have this conversation on the live show a lot about separating art from artists and It's hard to do, but look, he's part of the cast and does a great job. But I think the two ladies do outshine him
easily.
Yes. So Charles is a former real estate developer who is taking time out, I guess, in the countryside to relax and unwind. We meet Delia. We love Delia, Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah.
A sculptor and conceptual artist. His second wife, and of course, his teenage daughter, aspiring photographer, and proto-goth, I guess.
Yeah.
Lydia. Winona Ryder. Like, that's about, like, she's
proto-goth.
She's definitely the emo prototype, right? Dark hair, dark makeup, pale skin, eyeliner, like.
Yes, We
Winona's
did
got
that.
a
You're welcome.
Winona is very responsible for a lot of between Heather's and this movie, she's she's very responsible for a lot of teenage angst and representing it. But she's very good at it. That was her wheelhouse. It's her wheelhouse.
Wasn't ever allowed to grow up though because of it. I think.
I don't know. You get to Girl Interrupted and like the later movies. You're like, okay, you're an actress now. Like we get it.
But she still didn't get
It's
to
because
grow
she
up.
looks,
Really.
but she looks so young still.
She
That's
does.
that's the problem with even against
She
those
showed up on
kids.
Stranger Things. I thought.
Yeah, even against those kids she's amazing in Stranger Things. She doesn't look like she could be those kids' mom. So it's especially now that those kids are so old. It's like, okay,
Right.
radio. But yes, there's a lot of angst in the house because the house is being remodeled.
Lydia is still grieving her mother.
Of course, and I think
And
that's
that's a big part of who Lydia is. You can't leave that out.
Yes. So the Maitlands are obviously a little distraught that their beautiful home is being postmodernized. I love it. Just random objects floating in the air and an outside living room and all that. Like people would pay big money for that now, especially up on that hill. The views!
Actually, I think it sold. I think it's a real house.
Yeah, those views though. Come on. So the Maitlands consult the handbook of the recently deceased and travel to I just the creative minds behind this. The waiting room of the afterlife is just there's some brilliant little people there. Yeah. And it's full bureaucratic. There's caseworkers, there's like waiting rooms. You can see there's busyness.
Yeah, but hell should be a waiting room.
Well, we waited long enough. I love the caseworker.
Yes, I do too. I couldn't think of her name. I was going to bring her up though.
Juno, her name is.
Juno.
And she informs that they've got to spend the next 125 years in the house. If they want the Deepses out of the house, though, the Maitlands have to do that themselves. This smoking old lady.
Yeah, I know. She's
great.
The Diamond Dash.
Very, very nice. I like it. Oh, God. Stop it. Now, the problem with them trying to get the Maitlands out of the house is that Charles and Delia can't see them. But Lydia herself, who is strange and unusual, can see them. And there's some great lines in there. We skip Catherine O'Hara's renovation line. If you do not make me run this house, I will not make it. And she had that screaming thing down pat even then. Even before she was, Mrs. McAllister, she knew how to scream. And it's gorgeous. You just get the intensity of Delia.
Right.
And it's the red hair, it's the red lipstick, it's the dark clothes.
Yeah.
She's just very, very on it.
And she's also in black all the time too, just like Lydia.
She is. But I think that's the interesting parallel between the characters. Lydia's literally grieving. That's her her outward expression of her grief. Yeah. Whereas, Delia is an artist.
It's a statement.
So she puts on, that's her character that she puts on, I'm sure she would wear a beret if she could. Tiny glasses, beret. Beautiful. We love them. Now, this is a fair way into the movie already. Before we even get the first mention of the freelance bioexorcist known as Beetlejuice for the character that is, the title.
Titular. Yep, titular.
This is a ways through. Like we're at least 20-30 minutes into a 90-minute film.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I forget like movies used to be like this. You used to have to wait. It's like okay, you just have to wait for these things. Like, okay, cool. But of course, they meet him, and again, when you think of the name Michael Keaton, this is the first, if not second, role that pops up, right?
Yes.
Batman and Beetlejuice. That's all.
And Mr.
As a
Mom.
child,
And
as a
Mr.
child,
Mom.
as a child of the '80s, Batman and Beetlejuice. Like
Mr. Mom.
that's where I go straight away. Batman and Beetlejuice. Crass, I guess you would call him.
Indeed.
Crass, crude, and morbid.
Mm-hmm.
But brilliantly played, and not really like anything you see him do in that era. Like he's he's a scumbag. He's a scumbag.
Oh yeah, he is.
A dead scumbag.
He's a bad egg in the world of the dead.
Right? Yeah. He's the name
You know,
which they shall not
He's
speak.
like the shyster.
It's good. It's good. I love it. So they begin their less than successful supernatural assault. But Charles has an idea. In the grand scheme of, the 80s, let's commercialize it. So he pitches the idea of a, I guess, paranormal museum / event space where the ghosts,
if you will,
where the ghosts come out to perform.
Yeah.
And perform they do. We can't really go past the dinner scene in this movie. It's so
dinner
iconic.
Scene is so iconic. And
So iconic.
I hate the word iconic.
But it's just even sitting there. You only need to see a snapshot. If you're a pop culture person, you only need to see a snapshot of it and go, "Oh, I know what's happening. I know where I am."
Yes.
And just the performances.
All right in the world, we know where we are.
Yeah, the performances in that piece are just brilliant. Like Catherine, I have something to say. Dale, I'll go.
Dale.
Yeah,
I know, right?
Just the acting is so good, and that's where you get.
Yes.
Obviously, a lot of these people are repertory / theatre actors that have done their time, so they're not afraid to do stuff like this. A dance scene around, say, like a fully choreographed possession dance scene with
Catherine came up through Second City.
Yeah. With possessed shrimp cocktails that
Yes.
The absurdity of it is amazing. I can only imagine, again, it's one of those movies where you go, I wish I had seen it first without knowing about it. They're older movies, especially if you go back to them, that just through culture.
Right.
Like, I wish I had it, because I'd be like, this is insane. Like, it's so wacky. The whole thing's wacky.
I believe that I had that reaction. I believe it was, I don't want to say jarring. What do I want to put? It was disturbing in the fact that it was comedy, full on demonic possession as comedy.
Yeah, and it was like, why is there a musical moment in this movie? Like in this movie? It's so iconic though. And the Maitlands think that that's hilarious, and they think they've done their job until, big business comes to town. They can't get rid of these people. They can't get rid of these people. And meanwhile,
then they decide.
Well, before that, Paul Lydigan's like bereft because she's trying to make friends with these ghosts, and then they're just getting commercialized. Like everything, I guess, in her life is everything's exploited. So Lydia's ready to take a dive off the bridge too. and they want to save her. That's so cute. Like that adopted family moment is very
Right.
cute. I think it's a very endearing relationship in the film.
Yes.
You
And
know,
redemptive.
and redemptive. Yeah, not that she really needs redemption at all. I think that they're
Well,
just those souls that needed to find each other. It's very fatalistic and pretty and lovely and all that thing.
touches the
So
cockles.
yes. So Maxie Dean, Charles's boss, comes to town with his wife, who is in everything, and I don't know that actress's name, but she is in every movie. Like every movie. I can't remember her name, but she's always like real saucy and like whoa. But I love her. I will have to find out. But she's been in so many movies,
I'm gonna
and they're
look it up on
pitching
IMDb.
they're pitching the transformation of the whole town into a tourist spot. But Maxie requires evidence of ghosts.
Yep.
The Handbook of the Dead, the recently dead, is used to conduct a seance, I guess, for lack
Yes.
of a better term, by also the
Marie Cheetah.
interior. She is in everything.
She is.
Yes. When you look at it, you go, oh, you are in everything.
I've seen her in a million things. Yes.
She's one of those career actresses, working actresses.
Yep.
So yes, our interior decorator, or that's what they call your kind. I loved it. It's like, what can we say without
Good
saying it
rhyme.
in the 80s?
Mhm.
Conducts a seance and summons Adam and Barbara using their abandoned wedding clothes, but
Right.
they begin to age and decay because instead of a seance, he's performing an exorcism because the Handbook of the Dead is notoriously hard to read. There's only one solution left. A horrified Lydia must summon the bioexorcist.
Yeah.
But of course, being a true sluggle, Beetlejuice will only come to work if he promises to marry her. Because that would allow him to cause chaos on an epic scale in the mortal world. It would give him access. So, being the kind-hearted little goth girl that she is, he says his name 3 times.
And just take a moment to appreciate that the world was not scandalized by the fact that this man was trying to marry a 17-year
Two
old.
brides. Well, he's what? He's a couple of 100 years old. We're used to that. We've lived through Hugh Hefner now. It's okay. We know these things happen. So to his credit, he does dispose of Maxie and his wife. And, woo! They're gone. Also gets quickly dispersed by changing him into a leisure suit. Oh no! The Maitlands are saved. Well, saved-ish. They collapse into a pile of barely moving
Right.
corpses in the ground. But the ceremony must begin. Now, again, the red wedding dress is pretty iconic. The black and white suit these are the cultural moments of this film.
Yes.
Beetlejuice, black and white striped suit. Lydia Dietz, either black or red. You're like, okay, cool. We get it. We know where we are. We are safe, we are happy. And it looks like it's all over for Lydia. She's going to be the teenage bride to a bioexorcist.
Yep.
Poor girl. But the Maitlands, bless them, they intervene. They save her. Not without a bit of a fight though. Beetlejuice kind of exposes his power a little bit.
Right.
We get the idea that he is. We're gonna say it probably a little bit underused in this movie with his name in it.
Yes.
I don't know if that's
I,
controversial to say because this movie
he
is so
he
classic.
does dominate when he's on screen, though. He really
Yeah,
does. To not give him top billing, you
it's
know,
showtime.
showtime.
Like,
He
yeah,
is the dominant force of the movie. He drives it forward. You know,
I
um,
feel like once we get to this point, this happens like this is there's no stops. Once Lydia summons him,
yes.
it's all over. Like you're like, oh, okay, the movie's finished. That's what it feels like. I remember it being longer. That's my thing. But again, that's my child brain going, oh, Beetlejuice, scary man, scary looking man. Oh no. You know,
Yes.
that's just what I remember. And he's ultimately dispatched by one of those bloody sandworms, which he hates so much.
I don't hate him. I just
No, he hates them. You're just
yes,
like,
he hates
I
them.
don't understand them. They're cleaning up the detritus of the afterworld, of the other world, you know?
Hmm.
And there's no bigger detritus than Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
He's a big old shit. And he's chopped,
He
you
is.
know?
Yes, he is.
He's chopped and he's gone. Like it seems easy. Like it seems very for
I don't.
resolution.
It doesn't seem easy. There's a little work involved. I
Like,
mean,
all
yes,
right.
they have to figure it out, and then once they figure it out, they put it in motion, and it goes. But it's probably 10 to 13 minutes. That's a long time in cinematic time.
Yeah, look, I don't know. Look, I'm just giving an honest reaction this time. But the Deetses and the Maitlands reach an agreement to live in harmony within the house. You know, it's
Yes.
nice. We get the post like every kind of horror movie, we get the post massacre, post like big moment, life is okay moment,
Hmm.
when we realize that Barbara and Adam have kind of formed a pseudo parent relationship with
Yes.
Lydia. It's good. And
It,
she's not in her blacks, she's in a school uniform.
yeah.
She's just like every other kid. She's doing well at school.
Her
And
parents have left her
yeah,
alone.
she gets rewarded by, levitation. As you do. You get a levitation and a dance scene, a musical scene with dead football players because,
Yeah.
that's what we do.
Why
And the dancers are just happily chilling,
in in
I
New
guess,
York.
with their responsibility taken care of and molds of Beetlejuice happening. It's very well. It feels like the family sitcom ending to this movie that was going to be appropriate. And of course, we find Beetlejuice back in the waiting room. the
Getting
the shrunken head,
processed.
yeah, the shrunken head, the witch
Yes,
doctor thing is very funny. It might
it
be a
is.
bit, of its time, and maybe a little bit controversial in this day and age, but it's very fitting with the story, and that is really kind of it. That movie
It
wraps up.
drapes, but it's funny. It is
Yeah,
iconic. It's
it is iconic, and look, it's obviously iconic because from the budget for this movie of $15 million, the box office went to $75 million. So that's a hit, baby.
oh yeah,
You know, that's a hit. Anything that
absolutely.
recoups,
And
it
it's
it,
been around. It's
it
held its
has been
ground.
around, and it was that
It's
successful
yeah. It's
that
almost 40 years, right?
yeah, it was that successful that it has. There's been a sequel in development.
Mm-hmm.
I think since '89.
And the very successful musical
The
pre-COVID.
Super Six, yeah, I was about to say the very successful musical, the animated TV series, like Beetlejuice has stayed in the zeitgeist for a character with one film to his name. There's always this presence of Beetlejuice again. For he's not in the first third of this movie, but the character and the performance of the character and everything packaged together so well has led this to be, becoming a cultural icon of the 80s,
Right.
which is really cool. And yeah, the musical I wish I would have gotten a chance to have seen on, like I have
That's great.
listened to the soundtrack. I've maybe seen a bootleg, but I wish I would have gotten to see the musical. Hopefully, it is coming to Australia apparently. So
Oh,
finally,
wonderful.
only like 7 or 8 years after the rest of the world. That's okay. But the
Well,
biggest news,
COVID really kind of chopped it
yeah,
in half.
as it
There's the
did with lots of
pre-COVID
things.
openings and reviews, and then the post-COVID revival. Almost feel.
Yep. So as I was saying, with time, I guess all good things comes to those who wait.
Yep.
36 years later, this week,
Right.
you can go to the cinemas and see the sequel, which is aptly named Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Yes.
Are we thinking they're hoping that this is really successful and we get a
We
third
get
one?
a third one.
I mean, come on, ultimately, really?
Yeah,
That's got to
really.
be it. Now, we are very, very lucky with the fact that it being such a modern movie that we are getting some of the original stars returning. Of course, Catherine O'Hara, whose star has risen exponentially, is
Yes.
joining the cast with Michael Keaton and Winona Ryder. But we're getting the modern day goth girl, Jenna Ortega, as well,
Yep.
who is a modern day
Wendy.
scream queen, and of course TV's Wednesday Addams from Wednesday.
Yep.
I am staying away from the reviews. I'm going to go and watch it. I'm just going to go sit and
Yep.
soak it in, because I think the trailers look great. I've got to say, the trailers look good. It looks
Yep.
up there. It looks up there with the original. So I'm trying to stay spoiler free and opinion free and just go in and let it envelop me, because in this day and age, it's hard to do unless you see something the day it comes out or the day before at a preview or something. If you're on social media, it's like people want to spoil everything for you. It's come on,
Oh yeah, I've seen spoilers for shows that haven't started yet.
Yeah, like I don't want to know. I want to see it. I want to go see it. I want to enjoy. I just want to relax and go a bit wacky paranormal with Beetlejuice, because Michael Keaton looks like he's firing again. Like,
yeah,
he's having a bit of a resurgence. Again, he played Batman again recently. Beetlejuice is back. He's like,
and he won the Academy Award a couple of years back.
Yeah. So he's doing it. He's doing it well. But we will. I think have to sit down again.
I'll be there. I'll go see it.
She's getting her popcorn and Vera's ready.
We won't be able to see it together, but
not yet. We'll have to wait and see what's out when I'm over there. We'll have to see. But if you enjoyed Beetlejuice, why don't you tell us your favorite part of Beetlejuice? And if you're going to check out Beetlejuice, let us know and join us when we do a review for that. If you enjoyed this show, or if you want to check out our other shows, we are also an audio podcast. So if you don't have time to watch, or you can't watch because you're driving, traveling, whatever, you can listen to our dulcet tones on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Blog Talk Radio, TuneIn, or really anywhere that podcasts are service to the general public, because we're your voice. We are your voice box. If you have a movie that you would like us to review, or if you're an expert in a movie, we would love your opinion. There's always an empty seat here. The idea of assigned seating is we've got someone who knows and loves the movie and someone who may have seen it for the first time, and we meet in the middle. So if you have a movie, please let us know. Or if you want to feature somewhere in this cinema, please let us know. Hit us up on Facebook, hit us up on Instagram, hit us up on TikTok, inbox us, tell us what movie you want to watch, and you never know.
Us in the grocery store, that'll freak us out.
you could be sitting here amongst the things, watching the beautiful world of celluloid. But thank you for joining us today again, Vera. I have been Steve. So until next time, don't pull at your faces and make weird eye puppets. Like, you gotta love those.
Why not?
Yes, we hope you've enjoyed ourselves because we too are strange and unusual. And stay strange and unusual until next week, folks.
Indeed.
Bye.
Bye.